Hello? Hello? Alright. You're gonna have to bear with us for a little bit because, we have to, you're gonna have to bear with us for a moment because we have to everything is completely fine over on this end. In the meantime, we just want to say we don't know what came over us, on our last stream. We didn't even end it. Alright, welcome to our Midnight Feature presentation. Sorry, what is checking this? No. Doesn't look like it's showing up. Okay. Okay. It wasn't working earlier either. Let's see. We can't even minimize it. Why does make it not full screen? It's just, okay. Alright, hold on. We gotta figure out some, oh, duh. Okay. Sorry, we had the image turned off earlier. Sorry, give us a second. Our brain is up. Now we're just waiting to see if something's going to work here. Yeah, our brain's been screwing with us a lot lately. Why isn't it showing up? It should be showing up. Oh, do we have to? Does that work? Wait, we don't even see where this is. Alright, hold on. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Hey, when this happens, one second. In the meantime, we can do a chatting stream, maybe. Okay, great. Oh wait, we should probably do that. There is a major delay to our stream. We don't know what that's all about. Is our audio coming through? Let's just check that. Good, it is. Though we sound super staticky and the like. Aha! It's working! Yes, perfect. Yes. Now we just gotta make sure that our model, yes, perfect. Okay, here we go. Right, we have to turn this up for our audience's listening pleasure. Though, warning, there may be audio feedback. Turn it back down. Let's take a listen. Alright, let's just start. Here he is. Diogenes. Diogenes, who lived in a barrel in ancient Greece. The original cynic, as many call him. Well, just for the record, we do have a faulty mouse, so we've seen gameplay of this, of course, and we know what the point of this game is. It's just to make you upset. It has no other point. Alright, alright. Oh gods, okay. I hate how our model sometimes just leaves the eyes like half open. Okay, let's go. Alright. Okay. No tutorial, no nothing. Alright, and there we go.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have,
Shut up, shut up.
or if you left your
We
wallet
already know.
and you have to go back after spending an hour
Here's
in
the
the
thing.
commute.
Something we
If you
always
won some
figured
money
out.
at the casino, and you put all your
One time we
winnings
saw
on red,
Bennett
but it came
Body
up black.
try to play this
If you
game.
got your best
and
shirt
he
dry
hated it.
cleaned before
And he wasn't
a
getting
wedding,
upset.
and then
And you
immediately
know why he
dropped
wasn't
food on
getting
it.
upset?
If you won an
Because he
argument with
knew.
a friend,
He
and
knew
then later
that he
discovered
did not believe
that
a
they just returned
word
to their original view,
that he was
starting
saying
over
here.
is harder than starting up.
Like, we
If you're
don't
not ready
really
for
believe
that,
in
like if you've already had a
pretentiousness,
bad
which makes
day,
us very
then what you're about to go
pretentious,
through
we're
might be
aware.
too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here.
Okay, you'll be here. Great, good for you. Okay. Alright, now we can... Come on. Like, the philosophy here is not meant to be actual philosophy, it's just meant to upset you. You know? Whoop. There we go. For the record, we've never played this game before. And this game will likely make us upset regardless of what we know about how Bennett Body does not actually believe. That was impressive of us. Does not actually. Alright. I think we almost have. Ugh. These controls do feel weird. Like, we knew they would, but, you know, it's another thing to... Don't do that! Okay.
Alright,
Here.
thanks for coming with me on this trip.
You're
I'll understand
welcome.
if you have to take a break at any point.
Yeah,
Just find
no,
a
you
safe
don't.
place to stop and quit the game. Don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002 titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects.
We actually have
Designers slap
played,
them together very quickly
what
and
was it
freely,
called again?
and they're often too
Helmet.
rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products.
How? Hold on, wrong page.
In a certain
How are
way,
we so
Sexy
good?
Hiking is the
Oh
perfect
right, Sexy
embodiment of a
Hiking.
B game.
We've actually played Sexy
It's
Hiking.
built almost entirely out of found and
We weren't
recycled
good at it.
parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor.
At the very least,
No amount of forward progress
this
is
section
guaranteed.
isn't that
Some
annoying.
cliffs are too sheer or too slippery,
Ah!
and the player is
Got
constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything.
Alright, alright. Mhm. Actually, let's get off of that because we have an easier time. We have an easier time doing this. Okay. And there we go. Almost got us. But yeah, this game is doing everything in its power just to annoy you and make you angry, which is how it's going to get to you. We're really good at the climbing. I think this part, no. No! No! Aha! Think we have something? Think so.
Anyway, when you start sexy hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to
We
find a
aren't
way up
listening
and
to a
over.
word you're saying,
And
buddy.
there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in sexy hiking is real.
Yeah.
The obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier.
We wonder
it
how
already felt like my inability to get past a new obstacle
some of this
was
we
my
can
fault
tell
as a
is
player
just like,
rather than as a
oh,
builder.
I'm trying to upset
Imaginary
you.
mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them. And it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real. When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with. And in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world. Not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas.
Speaking of philosophy, to what extent is the video game world real? We know what body's talking about, obstacles and the like. We know what body's talking about with obstacles and the like. Oh! Why did you do that? We did not like you do that. Okay. Careful. Yeah. Easy. What? Whoa. You were not supposed to do that. Okay. You're a little sensitive. We can get behind that. We can work with a little sense. That we forgot about how the trash can being an actual object. That's on us. You live a few hundred years and you stop being outraged by stuff like this. Words will eat like spaghetti in approximately an hour. Give or take. Probably a shorter time than that. We have to say, being a mad scientist, we do love a good, cloudy, stormy day. You know? Not just for, like, reanimation purposes, but we just, like, we don't know, it's comforting. Okay. Come on, we got through this section easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let us. Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. Our back's hurting. Okay. Wah, wah. Don't like how we had to play a shirtless guy in a tub. Wish there was like a female player option. For the purpose of the stream with a shirt on. Otherwise, it's only fake, which makes it sound very. Never mind. You can probably guess what that sounds like. Let's see. Come on. Thank you. Come on. Okay. Perfect. And go. Here we are. Oh, careful, careful. We'll make some sort of physical tab about, like, we don't know, striking the rock or something. Like, but the slightest nudge could outright destroy us. Okay. So, how high can we reach? It's just about there. Okay. What? Okay. Let's just try this. Okay. You know, this guy is too clean to be Diogenes. You know that's his name, but he's too clean to be Diogenes. Ah! Okay, okay. Whatever, as long as we... Thanks for catching us before we jinxed ourselves. Thank you, game. This is a game that humbles people. Are we getting upset? We don't know yet. Probably. We still feel fine, but maybe we're just manic, you know? One of these days we're gonna get a better model. Sorry, just catacombs of ours. If you're wondering how we're doing a dual screen right now, we're using two laptops, one of which we rented from the library, one of which is, well, ours. Okay, we were on to something. That's not what we wanted. Thank you, game. Thank you, game. Very helpful. Oh no, are we already getting tilted? Okay, so we managed to breeze through those first two sections easy peasy, but here is where we actually start to get stuck, and we're sure that's probably true of a lot of players, because now we have to go about this in a different way than we were before. And go! Ooh. No! It feels like a bigger setback than it is, you know? The moment we get to a major setback, we're gonna put on our angry face. Oh. No, we wanted to try and see if we could set down there. Well, we know how this game works. The moment we beat this, it will be easier the next time we have to do it. When I left, we will not have to do it again. Though, knowing how reality works, we will have to do it again and again and again. Okay. Well, after we beat it. Okay. Okay. Our laptop is so fragile that we're scared to, like, adjust the screen to make it better viewing for our back and feature monitor. No! We were so close! No! Okay. No. And that works. Okay. Okay. Aha! Careful. Careful. And...
For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated objects, bought in a store and assembled into a world. And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made, although a lot of them are. I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context. And once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds. Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet.
There we go.
It now vastly outnumbers and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused.
When
everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. B games, B movies, B music, B philosophy.
What's wrong with B movies, huh? The mad scientist here wants to know, what's wrong with B movies?
A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain.
We know that this
a
is
landfill with everything we ever thought of in it. Grand, infinite, and unsorted.
You know this is like the first major...
There's 3D models of breakfast, Gen X's fanfic novels, Scan magazines, green screen Shia LaBeouf, banned snuff scenes on LiveLeak. Facebook's got lifelike bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed GIFs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled. Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering, disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight.
He's doing he was doing beat poetry for a second. We've watched Bucket of Blood and Red Man magazine, so we know all the intricacies of this genre we've never partaken in. Okay, let's just regroup. Yes, stare at the funny stick. Diogenes. Stare at the funny stick. You're not even doing that right. Okay. This is not as hard to control as we thought it would be, which is weird. Oh, whoa. Okay, that section's gonna take a little bit of more foresight and planning. Hmm. Some of these objects here are just there to, we guess, look. You know, it doesn't matter how skilled we are. We get too cocky for even a moment, and we get screwed over. We have to be just the right level of confident. Not too careful, not too careless. It's a difficult balance, we think. We have to be in between there, you know? We're actually wondering what our reaction will be if we do get setbacks so far. It probably won't be pretty. No, we were so close. So close to progress. No, we got to worry. No, no, no. No, 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 no. We're actually scared. More scared than any horror game. I cannot wait. There was that time we bailed out on Sister Location. But to be fair, we're not exactly in a safe space for horror games at the moment. Just, you know. You know how it is. Actually, let's do it like this. Nope. No. Please don't. No, 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 no. Okay, okay, okay. We can do this. We can do this. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Please, no. Please, no. At the very least, we won't have too difficult of a time getting back up. No, 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 no. Please, no. Please, no. We don't know what will happen if we get angry. Don't give us a reason to be angry, game. Okay. Okay. Let's just calm down. Relax. Talk philosophy for a second. You know, as much as this game likes to say this is Diogenes, it reminds us a lot more of the myth of Sisyphus, you know, Albert Camus. There's a statement hint in his infamous essay called, well, The Myth of Sisyphus. Oh, we never turned this off. uh, there's a famous quote in his essay: "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." Now, what does that mean? A lot of people, even the people in favor of the quote, misinterpret it. They think it means to be content with your punishment, that the punishment should make you happy. And we do use that word punishment because Sisyphus's boulder is a direct punishment from the gods, you know? So what does the quote mean? It means one must imagine Sisyphus doing something that could make him possibly be happy in a situation like this. It's basically asking, what would you do to keep yourself happy? And we guess the answer for us, the only answer that makes sense for us, where Sisyphus could be happy rolling that boulder up a hill again and again, would
Oh,
be...
you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
Okay. Sorry, our mind is not accepting it, what just happened. We feel... Oh no, we feel like a horrible sense of calm here. Like, the worst emotion you can feel is bad calm.
Oof, sorry about that.
Shut up. You're just doing that to make us angrier. Psychology has proven that a lot of the reason we have never actually gotten to this point, have we? Right, because we started up from here. Okay. Well, anyways, for us, the only answers that make sense for what could possibly make Sisyphus happy in his punishment would be things like singing, or taking in the sights and view, or just talking to himself. Various little creative things like that. After all, if you're pulling a boulder up the hill, what else is there to do? There's probably a few songs that Sisyphus likes to sing. So yeah, I guess that's our answer to that. Art, art, conversation, and admiring the beauty around you. Even the little things, like little rocks and pebbles, can bring in so much joy. Whoops.
Oh, it happened again. Keep on trying, don't let it get to you.
Him doing that is more upsetting than the actual setback. We're gonna be real honest with you. Be real with you, Chief? We know there are options to shut him up. That's breaking the experience, the Bennett body experience. Where he wants
This thing
you
that
to
we call
suffer.
failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Mary Pickford.
Okay, thank you, Mary. We know at one point he quotes, "We think Ice Cube, don't hate the player, hate the game," which is the perfect way of summing up structuralism, in all honesty. That's right, we're using this game as an excuse to discuss philosophy. Okay. Wow, we didn't even... mentally we haven't even registered that we've gotten to this point. By the way, if you're wondering what the reward for...
Get nasty over, boy.
We forgot what we were saying. Because,
Going down the road,
we got too
feeling
cocky.
bad. I'm going down the road, feeling bad. Going down the road, feeling bad, and I ain't going to be treated this way.
Does he have to yodel? Yodeling's fine. It's just cheesy, honestly.
Play them blues there, boy, friend.
We're surprisingly good at this game, despite the setback we just had. Though we have been spending half an hour on it, and we're back at this section. It's more like we're good at certain sections more than others, which is probably how it's designed. You're supposed to have to use a variety that is designed to just switch you and mix you up. Like, that way you can't get too good at any one mechanic. Not too easy, in other words.
Let's go to town, boy. Hey, buddy.
Great.
Oh, no.
This is probably gonna be our least favorite section.
$10 shoe fits my feet. A $10 shoe fits my feet. $10 shoe fits my feet, and I ain't going to
Hold on.
treat it this way.
We gotta get some water. And we're back. Sorry about that. We just, we are so sorry about that. Have to getting over it started again. But yeah, we went to get some water. Things went wrong, as you very clearly saw. Don't worry. Don't worry, we'll be back on the air in just a second. Our midnight fever presentation has run into a little hiccup. However, the show will continue, for it is always midnight somewhere, including right now. We do not want to great deals on you pop-up ad from music app we tried to put onto computer. Well, thank you. And it's on. Good. Here we go. Good, and it's right where we left off. Okay, we can continue. Great. For those of you watching the VOD, which for sure is, we think actually multiple people have watched our VODs at this point. So yeah, for those of you who are just watching our VODs, what happened was we sort of screwed up on the laptop. Actually, you can just read the chat here. But if this is an archive, just a quick rundown. We spilled our drink on... Almost. We spilled our drink on our laptop, so... Well, that's cryptic. Okay. We're gonna let it get to us a little bit. Honestly, the most annoying is him adding those, like, little motivational things. Because we know he's just doing that to upset us. At least we think he's just doing that to upset us. And that's what makes us so upset by it, because there's a small chance that he is being completely genuine. However minute. And that's why when he played his own game, he didn't give in to the rage this game was designed to produce. That and, well...
You've done this part before. You know it's possible. Just do what you did the first time.
Excuse you! We're trying here. Give us a fucking moment, will you? Give us a fucking moment. Okay. Sorry. We don't normally curse that often, but... But did you hear the insult that was just hurled towards our face? Just do what you did the first time. We're not sure what we did the first time. It's like the game heard. Oh, you really don't like it when we do that, huh? Well, let's show you. Well then, let's play another voice line. Let it roll. Nope, nope. Oh, nope. Yeah, that's probably for the best, or else we would have been stuck there for another 5 minutes for sure. Okay, don't do that. Okay. We're not sure what we did different there, but we're sure it was something. We fought interdimensional gods and the like. This isn't going to tilt us too much. There we go. There we go. So, there we go. Easy, easy, easy. Gentle, 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 gentle. There we go. Whoop. Thank the gods. Okay. Just have to keep the rhythm. Like so. See, not that bad. Okay, move this part. Just there. There we go. We do know there was a video, we think it was from the Game Theories, of a guy just trying to calculate if this would be possible. Like, this, and being enraged and confused by it. Which we think was the joke of the video. Just like, being so upset at the physical inaccuracy of this guy. And here we are. Welcome back. Oh, calm down. Calm down. Calm down, Doctor. Doctor, I need 50 cc's of copium stat. No! Genuine fear. That area, I fear no man. But that thing, it scares me. Okay. Oh no, we just meant to lay down. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, just settle down. There we go, settle down. All nice and comfy. There we go. See, there we are. Here we go. Nope. Nope. You don't get to do that. Nope. Nope. No. Oh. Yep. Hmm. Like, think of things that make us upset. You wanna know an ideology that makes us upset? Determinism. Now you may be thinking, why determinism? Is it just because you like the idea of having free will? Well, yes, there is obviously that, the self-interest reason. Part of it is because, well, we're a system. So not only that, but okay, actually, it's not so much the system stuff, though. That
The soul would have no rainbow had the eyes no
probably
tears.
doesn't
John Vance
help
Cheney.
too much, you know. How were we just able to continue after that? We should be a lot more upset. But we don't know. We think maybe.
The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before. That's the deal. C.S.
Does
Lewis.
that include the back pain we're going through? You'd think being an immortal who's literally bulletproof. You'd think that would mean you don't get back pain. Nope, you do. For some reason, you do. We could survive the entire universe blowing up a force. But yeah. There's another reason why. See, we often struggle with executive dysfunction. It's part of what kept us from streaming for so long.
I feel within me a peace above all earthly dignities, a still and quiet conscience. William Shakespeare.
Oh, quoting Shakespeare, that makes you so smart and clever. Ooh. People like that. Ooh. What? Non-English speaking playwrights and great auteurs? You know, assuming you believe in this, okay? What? People who don't speak English? Why would we ever quote them, Gag? Okay. Okay. We keep bumping our head on the oar. This part is harder than the rest of this. Maybe it's just us. Okay, up, up, up. But yeah, determinism just makes no logical. Well, I guess it's the whole point is that it makes logical sense, huh? Well, it just doesn't make practical sense to us. We should say, like a large example is picking between multiple boxes of cereal, or like picking between cereal and oatmeal, and how there's a lot of pre-relying factors that determine that, but the choice is still ultimately ours. And I guess this is we forget what the name of it is. Starts with a C. It's in between absolute free will and hard determinism. What's called soft determinism, we'll say, which is that you do have free will, but there are certain things that very much inhibit it. Like take us for example. We have executive dysfunction as a result of ADHD, meaning there are many things we want to do that we end up not being able to do because our brain says no. Screw you. So that's another way we know that we have free will, because sometimes our free will just malfunctions. We need to start taking out or something. It wasn't that big of a problem while we were traveling the whole multiverse. But no, we're stuck in one place and we can't do anything we want to do, creative or otherwise. Like, we even need to call therapists, and now we don't know where to treat with the but the contact number that our doctor gave us is... Like, we feel like we don't absolutely need therapy, but it's something that would be nice to have, and it would be very nice to have a person we can complain to. And doctor-patient confidentiality means that the government doesn't get to know any of the instrumental secrets. Anyways, we're getting off topic. The third thing that had screws us up about the other thing that determinism just obsessive gets us with, because determinism is infamous for being hard to argue against. You know? Like, it's difficult. Sorry, we're having to concentrate a bit at this specific part. But yeah. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. Now we can have an easier time. Oh. Okay. Even Diogenes gets annoyed at points with his grunts. Come on. Again. Honestly, what determinism reminds us of is the paradox of motion. For those of you who don't know, the paradox of motion goes like this. Let's say you want to get up to the top of this. Well, first, you have to get halfway there. For the sake of argument, let's say halfway there is just that little metal bit of that we're not sure what it is. Sorry, philosophy is forcing us to suck. Now that we're halfway. Well, in order to get halfway up to a point, well, in order to get to 2 points, you have to go halfway. But now the halfway point is... Yeah, we're not interested in showing that aspect of it anymore. There we go. So, actually, let's illustrate it here. Perfect example. Alright. We're at the halfway point. Well, now you have to get from the halfway point to the finishing point, which is over at that blockade over there. So, you have to get 3/4 of the way there, because you have to get from the halfway point to the 3/4 point. So halfway of halfway, right? Then you have to get halfway to that point, and then you have to get halfway to that point, and so on and so forth until you realize that you can't actually get anywhere. You're only ever able to go halfway. Here's the thing, hard to argue against, unless of course you can move. Because as you can see, we have made it to the other side. We have defied the paradox of motion. We forget what the philosopher's name who came up with it was, but it was a pre-Socrates, or before Socrates, we should say. But yeah, he was a guy who didn't believe that change was possible and used his paradox of motion to illustrate that. And many people say it does represent a problem of speed or measurement or anything really, but we say it represents a problem with logic. Just because something is the logical explanation doesn't make it the correct explanation. Like if we were speaking purely logically, you had to get halfway somewhere to get to another point, but then you have to get halfway from halfway, and then halfway from 3/4, halfway from 7/8, etc., etc., and you'd never get anywhere at all. But again, we can just disprove it by getting to from point A to point B. So that's where we think determinism sits. Like, sure, logically it makes sense, but a lot of people just intrinsically know it's wrong. Like, sure, logically it makes sense, just like it logically makes sense. Instead, there is a paradox of motion here. Like how the ever gets anywhere if it's not halfway? How can you have free will when cause of effect is so ubiquitous and there doesn't seem to be any exceptions of the rule that we know of? Of course, the reason determinism has managed to get so far is because you can't physically prove free will exists. Like, you can move from point A to point B. Because no matter how many choices you make, no matter what example you bring up, they can always just go, oh, what caused you to do that? Okay. We're not scared anymore. We're not scared of you. We're not scared. I'm not afraid anymore. Ah! That would be great physical comedy on our part if that was intentional in the slightest. Too bad it wasn't. This part is pretty difficult. Like, it wouldn't be if it weren't for the pit. Like, we'd be able to get through this pretty soon. But the pit just sets us back quite a bit. Don't go down the pit. Yes, that's why we think determinism is dumb and silly. It's just the motion paradox, but for something abstract. That being said, we don't hate determinism. Determinism makes us angry, yes. Determinism makes us very upset. But we don't hate it. We don't think the ideology is toxic in any way. In fact, a lot of determinists can be quite calm, reasonable, rational, and content, since, they feel like we're not sure. We can't get into the determinist mindset. We're of the opinion that, we have free will because we know our free will can be tampered with in one way or another. Regardless of prophecies, oracles, and all that. Free will is definitely a thing. No, you wanna know an ideology we can't stand? That just makes us, just an ideology we find yuck. Not speaking politically, of course. Because, that's too easy. And besides, you can have Republicans with different ideological bents and the like. They aren't like a monolith, just like the left isn't. Oh, no. Stoicism. We don't like stoicism. Alright. There are two general responses to the idea of lack of control. Sorry. Not responses to that per se, but here's the thing. We don't believe anything can truly be controlled, at the very least not the Platonic idea of control. If control even exists at all, which we honestly doubt. This can be a double-edged sword, of course, because on the plus side, this means nothing can control you, which is comforting. Even a puppet must sway with the wind, and not necessarily at the helm of the puppeteer. A sheep can be frightened away by a noise or any number of things, and ultimately the sheep have to choose to follow. And of course, people are complex animals. You can be presented with a false choice, which is pretty close to control, which is, do what I say or die, that sort of thing, you know. But that's not really control because you can technically choose to die for your morals and principles, and some people do. We applaud them for their efforts, but we'd prefer to live. Thank you very much. So, yeah. No. So, Stoicism starts off on the right foot for us. The idea of there are things outside of your life that you can't control. We don't like that its response is, but there are things in life that you can. Because we don't really believe that, especially in the realm of emotions. You see, there are two methods of what's called attempts at control. Method one is, placation. Placation. Sorry, we're just focusing a bit on. No, we got it. Okay. I think that's the most upset we've gotten because we were so close. Placation, So people are more likely to do things if you give them, enticing offers, just like, oh, do this thing for me and I'll give you something, the carrot, the carrot, right? So the stick is suppression, just like, do what I say or else, that sort of thing. Neither of them can truly control because there is no true way to control in our eyes. But they're attempts and they can vary in levels of success. It's sort of like how we can't really control Diogenes or the physics of the game. We can try to, but that doesn't mean it's going to work.
In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things?
This part's gonna be tricky. Especially since we don't actually know. You say look before you leap. Okay, that's new. Perfect. Yes. So the reason we don't like Stoicism is because, well, there are two methods of control. Well, hedonism also has the response of, well, you can control your emotions. Hedonism gets a bad reputation, undeservedly so, since true hedonism is not about doing cocaine all the time. Yeah, it's about maximizing your happiness. Like I could do cocaine and that would make me happy, but then I might have to go through withdrawals, and that would be unpleasant. We'll just use the shortcut if we fall down here. We don't know how the shortcut is done exactly, but we know it can be done. And even if it's less effective overall, it's safer. Anyways. Oh, we have moved too far to that side. Give us a moment. There we go. We're just gonna move a little bit to the side here. Anyways, so hedonism is placation. So I can maximize my happiness and make sure I'm happy. Which, the fun times gotta end at some point, but
When games were new, they wanted a lot from you. Daunting you,
shut up,
taunting you, resetting and delaying you. Players played stoically. Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly. A quick fix for the fickle. Some tricks for the clicks of the feckless.
Shut up.
But that's not you. You're an
I don't
acrobat.
actually believe
You could
that.
swallow a baseball bat.
You don't actually believe that.
Now I know, most likely you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, while some dude with 10 million views does it for you. Like a baby bird being fed chewed up food.
Shut up.
That's culture too.
Okay, thank you.
But on the off chance that you're playing this, what I'm saying is, trash is disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable. What's the feeling like? Are you stressed? I guess you don't hate it if you got this far, feeling frustrated. It's underrated.
Oh. That feels riskier than it is, but things.
An orange is sweet, juicy fruit
Oh,
locked
we know
inside
what to
a
do
bitter
with this
peel.
orange. Yeah!
That's not how I feel about a challenge. I only want the bitterness. It's coffee. It's grapefruit. It's licorice.
This part's gonna be difficult. There's a chance we fall all the way down to the bottom, and we are aware of this. We just have to be careful. We have to be careful.
What? What? Oh. Oh. What? What?
Careful.
What?
Careful. Okay.
Oh.
Let's just make sure. Alright. Actually, is this? Yes. Okay, so we can try and save ourselves.
What?
By
What?
playing the game. That will end the stream, by the way. If we quit the game, we're just ending the stream. But,
What?
At the very least, maybe we can trick this.
You cannot now believe that you will ever feel better. But this is not true. You're sure to be happy again. And knowing this, truly believing it, will make you less miserable now. Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. The man who freed the slaves, but only the ones in Confederate states. You know what? It's fine. This is for here. What is?
I left my mother, the best friend I had. Was a man that took me. That's why I'm all in there.
Wait, up on
That
here.
reason why I cry for me. Sitting all alone, I can see 1,000 miles away. Sitting all
This
alone,
feels like it's gonna be
I
harder,
can
but
see
it's gonna be
1,000
safer,
miles
in the long run.
away.
How do we do that?
I can see the man that made me what I
We don't actually know,
am
so
today.
we're just gonna hope that we can do this.
He has made me weak. He has made me bold and grown.
At the very least, we're getting some good
He has
music.
made me weak. He has made me moan
We liked it better
and
than
groan.
the other song.
Took me from my home and left me
We
all
probably heard them.
alone.
Why is this like reality? And who has lost this child?
Mother standing in the door. I left my mother standing
Easy,
in
easy
the
does it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Moving right along.
with a hand on my head as I
Another philosophical argument we've seen a lot
sit
recently is the argument between idealism and materialism.
all my clothes is sewn, both the soles grow off
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
all my clothes is sewn, both the soles grow off my
How do you suppose?
and my heart so cold that I've got
Actually, hold on. I think we might have an idea how to do that. We think the idea is you go fast enough, you climb fast enough, and you'll get the momentum needed to.
Do not
Yeah.
stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Mary Fry.
What? What's that one scene in the Truman Show? What does that have to do with anything? Tell me what's happening. Also, that poor actress who had to do that dumb ad read.
Oh.
Okay.
To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Friedrich Nietzsche.
We're not sure why we're not more angry. We probably should be more angry. I think it's because we don't find, like, going back this far all that difficult. Like, it's hard,
Life
no
is a
doubt.
mosaic of pleasure and pain. Grief is an interval between two moments of joy. Peace is the interlude between two wars. You have no rose without a thorn. The
Okay.
diligent picker will avoid the pricks and gather the flower.
Right
Satya
as we were
Sai Baba.
talking ourselves up, we start failing and failing. Heard, yes, yes, yes. The multiverse exists to humble those within it. Yes. But yeah, another ideological debate we've been seeing is materialism versus idealism. Before we get into it, we should say we are biased towards the idealism side. Okay, maybe that's not entirely true. We're biased towards biased against the materialism side because we think materialism is a little silly, and it's not just because of intellectual traumas and system stuff, but like, you know, the belief that it's the belief that everything is material, that there is no exception to materialism. If it exists, it has to be made of matter, which feels silly and reductive. And we know that reductionism is also the name of an ideology that has similarities for sure. From what we understand, we haven't read as much on it. Yeah. We do generally believe in the idealist philosophy of qualia. Well, not philosophy, but the concept of qualia. You know, well, it's the idea of just subjective experience, something non-material about how we exist and think. And we think that's true because we don't really believe in anything so simple as, everything is material. We do generally believe in the supernatural. Again, ignoring multiverse stuff because, how can you not when you've seen it? But yeah, we do generally believe there are immaterial things and the like. That doesn't necessarily make us an idealist, but there is a particularly famous argument. It goes like this. Can't believe we managed to get that through that one so quickly, but we're not complaining. Okay, so imagine Mary. Mary is in a room that's completely grayscale. She has never seen color before. However, despite having never seen color, she knows a lot about color. You see, she is a brilliant scientist, and she knows all the facts about color. She knows the hertz that it's. She knows what. She even knows what the sensation of seeing a color looks like. We'll say blue. We'll say blue. So Mary knows all about blue. She knows all about every objective fact about blue. What blue could be. She knows it, right? Mary knows all this objective facts about blue. But she's never actually seen what blue looks like. She knows what the sensation of seeing it would feel like, but she's never actually seen the color blue. So one day, she is let out of her little room and is allowed to go outside. And and for the first time, she sees what the color blue looks like. Or rather, she sees the color blue at all. So the question that the argument supposes is this. Does Mary learn anything new? To put it in more practical, real-life terms, like, you can pass every part of the written test, but you still have to drive the car in order to prove you can drive. You still have to get behind the wheel. Or alternatively, if you know every single fact about Tokyo, but you've never stepped foot in the city, you've never been to Tokyo. You don't know what it's like to be in Tokyo if you've never been in Tokyo.
No.
You know? We nearly saved ourselves. Well, not nearly, but we figured out a way we could potentially save ourselves there. Yeah. So yeah, the materialists have answers to it. We think the most compelling one they had was the argument is Mary doesn't learn what blue looks like. She's just surprised she's able to see blue, that her mind's allowing her to see it. Because if she knows every objective fact about Blue, he if she knows every fact about how Blue, every objective fact about Blue, she has essentially seen Blue. And our response to that is, no, she hasn't. No, she hasn't. Again, a materialist would think just passing the written is enough if you went by that logic. Again. Good. We think either when we make our next checkpoint or when we next fall, we're gonna end the stream. Again. So yeah. What the idealist argues is that if Mary does learn something new, if she does learn, if seeing Blue for the first time means she learns what Blue subjectively looks like to her experience, then
Sorrow is my own yard, where the new grass...
then materialism is false. Very simple logic. Though we already talked about the logical trappings and the like. Told you. What did we say? 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 Come on, what did we say? We said we were going to quit the moment we fell. We quit the moment we fell. Simple as, simple as. Okay, we're not ending the stream just yet. So yes. The argument goes that if you can learn something new from subjective experience without having access to material facts, or having all the access to every material fact about a color, but seeing the color still lets you learn the color, that proves materialism false. Not idealism true, mind you, but materialism false because of the subjective nature of color. And Mary can't say she knows what color looks like without actually having seen color. Does that make sense? Or is it all gobbledygook? Could be both. But yes, we do miss having actual viewers, but we've been having fun streaming, so that's good. And we've been, well, not fully eloquent, but more eloquent than when we were streaming last. In any case, we hope you all enjoyed our midnight feature presentation. But remember, it is always midnight somewhere. Thank you, and good night.